A haunting performance introducing Shelley Duvall in The Shining. Shelley Duvall, a name synonymous with The Shining. Her portrayal of Wendy Torrance, the terrified wife, is legendary. Duvall brought a raw, vulnerable energy to the role. She wasn't just a screaming damsel in distress, she was a woman fighting for her sanity and her son's life. Duvall's performance is often overlooked. People focus on Jack Nicholson's descent into madness. But Duvall's journey is equally compelling. She goes from a loving wife to a desperate mother pushed to her limits. This is the essence of Gothic horror, ordinary people facing extraordinary circumstances. And Duvall embodies it perfectly. Think about the Overlook Hotel. Isolated, grand, and deeply unsettling, it's the perfect setting for a Gothic horror, and within its walls, Wendy's fear and isolation become palpable. Duvall's performance is a masterclass in conveying terror. Her wide eyes, her trembling voice, her desperate attempts to hold it together, it's all deeply unsettling and unforgettable. Please like and subscribe for more insights into iconic performances. The Gothic heroine, vulnerability and strength in isolation. Wendy Torrance is the epitome of a Gothic heroine. She's trapped in a nightmarish situation. She's isolated, both physically and emotionally. The Overlook Hotel becomes her prison. She's surrounded by threats, both real and imagined. But Wendy is also incredibly strong. She's fiercely protective of her son Danny. Gothic literature is full of these heroines. Think of Eleanor Vance in The Haunting of Hill House, or the unnamed narrator in The Yellow Wallpaper. They are all women grappling with fear and isolation, but they also show incredible resilience. They fight back against the forces that threaten to consume them. Wendy Torrance embodies this duality. She's terrified, yes, but she never gives up. She picks up a baseball bat to defend herself. She wheels her catatonic son through the halls of the hotel, desperate to escape. She's a survivor. The Price of Art, Kubrick's demanding vision and Duvall's sacrifice. Stanley Kubrick was a notoriously demanding director, and The Shining was a grueling shoot for everyone involved. But Duvall bore the brunt of Kubrick's intensity. He wanted to capture genuine fear and exhaustion. He pushed Duvall to her absolute limit, emotionally and physically. There are stories about Duvall's hair falling out, about her crying for hours on end, about Kubrick isolating her from the rest of the cast. These methods were controversial to say the least, but they produced a performance of raw, unfiltered emotion. Duvall later admitted that the shoot was almost unbearable, but she also acknowledged Kubrick's genius. She understood that he was pushing her to create something truly special, and she succeeded. Her performance is a testament to her talent and her dedication to her craft. Section 4. Wendy Torrance, A Descent into Madness. Wendy's descent into madness is gradual and terrifying. At first, she seems like a typical wife and mother. She's worried about her husband's writing. She's trying to keep things together for her son. But as Jack becomes more erratic, Wendy's grip on reality starts to slip. Think about the scene where Jack is ranting at Wendy in the bathroom. He's just had a vision in room 237. Wendy is terrified. She's seeing her husband unravel before her eyes. Duvall plays this scene with a mixture of fear and confusion. It's heartbreaking to watch. As the film progresses, Wendy becomes more and more unhinged. She starts seeing things just like Jack. The lines between reality and nightmare blur. By the end of the film, she's barely holding it together, and yet, there's still a flicker of strength in her eyes. A mother's love, fighting against the encroaching darkness. Section 5. Legacy of a Scream Queen. Duvall's impact on horror. Shelley Duvall is often labeled a Scream Queen, and while she certainly screams a lot in The Shining, this label feels reductive. Duvall's performance is so much more than just screaming. It's nuanced, it's layered, it's absolutely unforgettable. Duvall's portrayal of Wendy Torrance paved the way for other strong female characters in horror. She showed that women could be both vulnerable and resilient in the face of terror. Her influence can be seen in films like The Silence of the Lambs and Hereditary. Duvall's legacy is complicated. Her experience on The Shining took a toll on her mental health, but there's no denying the power of her performance. She created a character that is both iconic and deeply human. And in doing so, she left an indelible mark on the genre of horror. Section 6. A final word recognizing Duvall's brilliance. It's time to give Shelley Duvall her due. Her performance in The Shining is a masterclass in horror acting. She brought Wendy Torrance to life with a rawness and vulnerability that is both terrifying and heartbreaking. Duvall's work deserves to be celebrated. She showed us the true face of fear, she gave a voice to the voiceless. And she reminded us that even in the darkest of nightmares, there is always hope. Pause 2S, Section 7, Shelley Duvall's Legacy. On January 22, 2023, Shelley Duvall passed away at the age of 73. Her family confirmed that she died peacefully in her sleep. Duvall's contributions to the film industry, especially her iconic role in The Shining, have left an indelible mark on cinema history. She will be remembered for her unique talent and the depth she brought to her characters. Shelley Duvall's portrayal of Wendy Torrance will forever be etched in the annals of horror cinema. Rest in peace, Shelley Duvall. Your brilliance will never be forgotten.